So selling a product which is a national icon, so to say, in a Hindi heartland is often a very interesting challenge to go for. My idea was simple. Um, how do we connect the offline to online world?
What was the experience that led you here? Just as a journey, it would be awesome.
All right. So it's been 24 years I've been working now. Looking back in time, I think I give a lot of importance to my part-time work that I started alongside with my post-graduation. And hence I owe it to that. But immediately after that, I was picked up by the Times of India group from my campus. I was hired by the Times of India group, and I was posted in Bhopal for almost 2.5, 3 years till the time I left Times of India. Now, again, very fascinating. I was hired to basically sell the space, to put it in simple terms. We used to call it response as a department. But I must say that the Times of India has a very, very rich culture of learning. What you learn on the job is very, very phenomenal there. Now, that was my first brush with sales. I was selling the media space for an English newspaper, but in a Hindi heartland of Madhya Pradesh, where they were not even distinct number 3 or number 4. So selling a product which is a national icon, so to say, in a Hindi heartland is often a very interesting challenge to go for. We did not for a minute think that, oh, we are in a disadvantageous position that, hey, we are trying to sell an English publication in Hindi heartland. So I'll come back to this very interesting story later. But yes, Bhopal kind of got onto my nerves. Beautiful city. I love going back there. But professionally, it had only so much to offer. Over those 2.5, 3 years, I had met most of the customers, most of the agencies, and it was somewhere trying to, hit me that, hey, am I kind of stagnating? And then it made me think about moving to a metro town, and that was early 2000. Unlike today's India, the opportunities were far and few in places like Bhopal and Indore. So I moved to Delhi. I joined the JWT Group company, which was their outdoor wing. Again, a very different experience. I got to see the rough side of working life. So that was good fun, but perhaps outdoor was not my cup of tea. So in 2 years' time, I decided to move on, and I joined Dun& Bradstreet, DNB. Now, I would call it a career pivoting move in my career, because that was the time when I realized actually that, I'm somebody who's interested in the science of marketing than the art of marketing. But those 4 to 5 years were fascinating years for me. Looking back in time, we did not even have that term called data-driven marketing then, which we use very often now. But when I look back and realize that, that was the time when we were setting the foundations for data-driven marketing. That was a very important career phase for 3 reasons. One, I got the love of my life, which is data-driven marketing, very early in my career. Second, that was also my first brush with leading a team, because I was given a charge to lead the team after a couple of years. And I had my own learnings and lessons from being an early stage manager. And third, that also pivoted me to the next move, which was analytics. Now, analytics was a very, very fledgling field then, and I'm talking about a period of 2005 to 2008. Analytics is like embedded now. We don't even think twice before using the word analytics, but it was very nascent then, and especially in marketing, it was just not there. So these 3 things happened to me in Dun & Bradstreet. Then Microsoft happened to me. Well, Microsoft was a very short stint for 1 year. I loved being part of Microsoft because I was continuing what I was doing in Dun & Bradstreet, but on the customer side now. I was given the charge to lead the program, which was relationship marketing. How do you get insights from data and try and create more sales opportunity? Well, as time have had it, 2008 was a very difficult phase. India was worldwide. We were all experiencing a massive recession, slowdown. And the things were looking very shaky then. And I was perhaps some 8-9 years into working life. Now, at that moment, you get very unsettled when you see that, oh, there are layouts happening around you. There's a global slowdown happening around you. And you're nobody in such a big ocean, who would be perhaps given a finger with which you can go up. So, as things have had it, I think, my manager was very kind, and he introduced me to somebody in a company called Arvato. Arvato is a German company, and that was the company which was trying to set up a marketing services business unit in India then. I'm talking 2009. The company underwent ownership change. Bertelsmann divested from that company. And there were some changes, and they decided, hey, we are not sure whether we want to carry marketing services forward, and so on and so forth. So I took another leap of faith. This was a very interesting leap of faith because I, like any other person in that stage of life, I was being offered by a company which was a startup, a Germany-based startup. It was a CMS platform, a very agile young company, but trying to expand in this part of the world, which is Asia Pacific and India. And content management platform is not a very easy ball game in a market like India. So, well, I took a role of the country manager then, only to realize that after a couple of months of me joining, the board was changed. The investors took over and they fired the original founder of the company, and for a variety of reasons, and they decided not to pursue that expansion in Asia because they wanted to consolidate, focus on Americas and Europe. And I was told to take care of the development center, which was not something I wanted to do. So then I took up a plunge again. I said, look, there lies an opportunity for a career in digital. So digital, by the way, has happened to be Narvato because with the changing times, we've realized that digital is going to be an integral part of anything you do. And specifically in B2B, where people were very happy doing events, telemarketing, we were one of the first companies to bring in integrated digital in our offering. And actually that bet paid off. This was 2014-15, I'm talking, or perhaps 2011 or 12. But it became one of our core service. So then after this stint with this startup that I had joined in 2018-19, I said, look, this is the time to pursue something on my own. So I met some of my former mentors and colleagues, and they said, hey, we are happy to fund your idea. My idea was simple. How do we connect the offline to online world? If you're a consumer transacting offline, can I create your digital footprint as you come and shop, and vice versa? Now, that took off on a certain note. We started creating community program, and this was an initiative called the Tech Company that I was running with the help of Tribes Communications and DDB Mudra joint venture. Now, it took off. Again, we came across a lot of companies who were very skeptic. We don't need this. I think we are doing robust business. We have got a retail presence. We have got a digital, but they're not fully integrated. And then COVID happened. Now, suddenly when the COVID happened, everybody was scampering to figure out the digital presence.
Yeah,
and
you just
those
needed
were
it.
the Yes. So what we were trying to tell the world that, hey, digital is must have, people started realizing it the hard way because suddenly everything came to a grinding halt. And there was a time then from 2020 March till about August 2021, we were at the forefront of creating digital presence for some of the very interesting brands. To give an example, me and my team perhaps created one of the fastest e-commerce portal in flat 3 weeks time for a global camera, a luxury camera brand, DSLR brand, because their stores were shut. They wanted to get back to the sales, and 3 weeks was the time given to us. So we created something out of nowhere, set it up. We have created India's biggest AI community for students called AI for Students for Microsoft.
Amazing.
Now, that one community thrived, and the goal for Microsoft was to perhaps train 1 million of students. And we collaborated with NASCOM. We worked with Microsoft. We went talking to several engineering schools in India, telling them why AI skills are important. And we ran that complete program. And there were many more such programs, And again, while it was a very, very exhilarating journey for me, but personally, I was somewhat getting a little restless about the fact that, look, this is endless. This is 24/7. And I wanted to really pause and think about what should be the next thing, where should we scale, and we could have scaled, and there was all the reason to scale that up. But my current manager in SAP and and my longtime acquaintance, he casually called up and said, "Hey, Praveen, what's up? What are you doing?" You were a B2B guy and you've been missed in the market. I said, "Yeah, I'm happy to explore." He just said, "SAP aayega kya? Would you want to come and join SAP?" I said, "Okay, SAP is a great brand to work for. Let's talk." And one conversation led to another, and that led to another. And SAP happened to me in January 2022 last year. I joined formally in January last year.